Just 2 hours before game time, there's a ghostly silence in the arena. Thousands of empty seats symbolizing, in fact, that the season is over for most of college basketball, but not for the 48 teams that will be invited to the tournament, and that includes the two we'll see today, DePaul and Notre Dame. And the horizon is transformed into a basketball madhouse. 17,000 fans to see 6th-ranked Notre Dame against 2nd-rated DePaul. And a win for Ray Meyer's DePaul Blue Demons would boost them into the nation's #1 spot. NBC Sports, in association with PBS, presents the best of college basketball. Today from the horizon, it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the DePaul Blue Demons. Brought to you by Lowenbrau. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrau. By Chevrolet and your Chevrolet dealers from coast to coast. By the Bell System Yellow Pages. Take the first step. Let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages. And by Mr. Goodrich and the General Motors Parts Division. A sellout crowd in suburban Chicago at the horizon to see two of the nation's top independent teams, DePaul and Notre Dame, renew their great basketball series. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another big day on NBC Sports. Basketball being featured. You've already seen the first part of This Is It, the NCAA preview. And after today's game between DePaul and Notre Dame, the official pairings will be announced. We'll give you all the 48 teams and where they'll be playing and our insight into the upcoming tournament that begins next Thursday evening. And then after the NCAA pairings, it'll be Sports World with skating, boxing, and an interesting feature on Hollywood Henderson. With me again, Al McGuire and Billy Packer, down to the final game of the regular season. What does it mean to these two teams?
Well, these two independents, very strong. The momentum. They got to win this last game to get the proper momentum going into the NCAA. They both have seniors that played in the Final Four. They more than at least 5 of these players out here have the possibility of going the first-round draft choice to the NBA. You got the coaches, you got the players, you got the crowd, you got college basketball at its best, Dick.
All right, that's a great preview for the upcoming tournament. Your impressions of the importance of this particular game?
Well, Dick, I've just come from the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament. All the major conference tournaments around the country have been played. This is the first time that I can remember when two independents had to have like a conference championship in their last basketball game. I think it's going to have a negative effect on one of these clubs going into the NCAA.
Digger Phelps Irish against Ray Meyer's Blue Demons. As we said before, a win for DePaul, and they would finish the regular season as the nation's #1 team. We'll have the introduction of the starting lineups for you in just a moment.
Here's two good friends. Tonight is kind of
Earthlings! One solo and he's ready for the space program.
I'm
gonna set this thing down in about 10 minutes and I expect a terrific reception. How about us and a case of Lowenbrau? Perfect!
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
Must have been great up there.
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty great down here.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day...
This compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
Chevrolet wants to help get America rolling. So Chevrolet and participating dealers are offering retail customers a $500 cash bonus on Chevy Chevette, $500 on Chevy Citation. We want to help get America rolling. With a $700 cash bonus on Monte Carlo, $700 on Chevy Camaro. Use your cash bonus as part of your down payment or get a check direct from Chevrolet. Get $500 back or get $700 back. Get rolling with Chevrolet.
Taste Sheridan. Taste Sheridan. Come to Sheridan.
I love the taste of Sheridan's.
You're gonna love every inch of the place. We've got taste.
Sheridan, you've got taste.
We've got style.
For a great hotel in the center of things, call 800-325-3535.
We've got taste.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rosemont Horizon. This is Jim Rebant, and now introducing this afternoon's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. At forward, a 6'6" senior from Essex Fells, New Jersey, number 44, Kelly Trapuka. At the other forward, 6'9" and a senior from Mansfield, Louisiana, number 32, Orlando Woolridge. At center, 6'10" and a sophomore from Farmington, Michigan, number 53, Tim Andre. At guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Kettering, Ohio, number 23, John Paxson. And at the other guard, a 6'6" senior from Silver Spring, Maryland, number 30, Tracy Jackson. The Irish coach, a 1963 graduate of Rider College, his 10th season, Digger Dick Phelps. And now for America's Dream Team, our Blue Demons. At forward, 6'7" junior co-captain, Chicago Westinghouse, Mark McGuire. At the other forward, 6'8" sophomore, Chicago King, 34, Sweet Tea Teddy Grubbs. In the middle, 6'10" sophomore, Chicago West Harvard, 32, TC Terry Cummings. At one guard, 6 foot and a senior, co-captain, East Orange, New Jersey, 23, Clyde Bradshaw. And at the other guard, 6'2" junior, Chicago Westinghouse, 44, Skip Money Dillard. The Blue Demon coach, a 1938 graduate of Notre Dame, his 39th season, the Hall of Famer, the coach, Ray Meyer.
Digger Phelps was 1 year old when Ray Myers coached his first DePaul Blue Demon team, and today Meyer goes for his 650th win and a possible #1 rating.
Lots of motor oils talk protection and mileage. I want proof.
Proof. New York taxis drove over 250,000 punishing miles with no oil-related failures. That's Haviland Supreme Protection.
Not bad, but...
Proof. After 1,000,000 miles of state trooper driving, no oil-related failures. That's Haviland Supreme Protection.
No kidding.
Proof. In fuel economy tests, it delivered improved mileage. Texaco Haviland Supreme.
They've got the proof.
When we test Goodyear tires, we really test Goodyear tires for rumble, squeal, expansion slap, traction, shake, wobble, nibbling, bounce memory, stability, high speed, response quickness, hydroplaning, ice and snow skid, curb scuffing, tread wear, thump, slaloming, steering return, and roughness, to name a few of our tests. It's testing like this that adds that one crucial ingredient to every Goodyear tire: confidence.
Here are the starters for the Irish, the seniors, Trapuka and Woolridge, sophomore Andre, Jackson and Paxson in the backcourt. Great talent on both sides of Paul with the All-American McGuire, sophomore Grubbs and Cummings on the front line, Bradshaw, the senior playmaker, Dillard, the sharpshooting guard. The officials, Jim Bain, Purcell, Ralph Rosser, all of the Big Ten. Underway, and Trapuka loses it out of bounds to DePaul. Bradshaw, the playmaker, southpaw, Dillard. Notre Dame starts in a matchup zone. Out of bounds, Trapuka knocks it away and goes to the Irish. Last touch by a DePaul player.
Another one of those kamikaze-type defenses by Digger. They're going to have Woolridge playing on McGuire man-to-man. We'll check it the next time down, see if they're a diamond in two or whether they really have an odd ball.
McGuire hawking Trapuka defensively at the other end. Trapuka gets a step. Andre clear for the 10-footer, and Notre Dame takes the lead.
I can't see the whole game with McGuire playing on Trapuka. That would create a foul situation.
What they're playing the diamond and two guys man-to-man. The rest of the three playing the zone.
Teddy Grubbs hit the goal, and it's tied at 2.
The key to the ball, if Teddy Grubbs gets out of the gate, there's very few teams in this country that can stay with him.
Great man-to-man here. There's a switch. Andre open.
Trapuka unable to connect. Jerry Cummings rips down the rebound. This is Dillard. He was red hot in the Dayton win earlier this week. Inside and knocked away by Andre. You'll see the DePaul players wearing the green ribbons on the left upper portion of their jersey. Memory of the young children in Atlanta. Cummings, no basket, traveling on Cummings of DePaul. It remains tied at 2.
That's a good fake that time by Kelly Trapuka, because Cummings had him inside, even a potential three-point play, and that's where that seasoned veteran, Al, knows when not to commit the dumb foul.
Here's DePaul picking up early. They're being super aggressive. DePaul wants to revenge the loss from last year.
Turnover, Woolridge threw it out of bounds.
Bradshaw is so clever in that position, too. He knows how to roam pretty well. He anticipated that Paxson was going to drop backwards.
It's been a big week of upsets, and maybe the largest of the lot last night as Arizona State defeated Oregon State at Oregon State by 20. We'll have highlights at halftime. Bradshaw.
Oh, great rebound.
And it's Tracy Jackson who comes up with the ball for Notre Dame.
Well, Bradshaw really get off the ground.
Jackson, Paxson. That's a tough defense by DePaul.
There's Bradshaw again. Now, Paxson realizes he can get Bradshaw hung up where he's trying to steal the ball and get free. There he is right there.
Paxson rattles it in, and Notre Dame leads 4-2. First points for Paxson.
You know, Al, I think a lot of teams ought to take advantage of Bradshaw. He's always out trying to steal. He leaves his man. You get a guy as good as Paxson, he's going to burn him.
Well, Dill will usually pick up when Paxson overplays.
Grubbs is open. And a foul on Andre of Notre Dame as Grubbs tried the shot.
Surprising matchup, Billy, as you said earlier. Here we go.
Here we're going to see Grubbs coming around, taking the jumper. That's the one thing that's so tough when you play a club like DePaul, is to try to play a funny type defense, because every guy on the team is capable of having a 20-point night.
Well, what I think is going to happen here, they're eventually going to get the ball into Mark McGuire, and he will put Orlando in foul trouble. Down the other end, Kelly Trapuka will put McGuire in foul trouble.
Grubbs has all 4 DePaul points, and we're even at 4. 2 minutes, 15 seconds have been played.
Zone pressure that time, 2-2-1 with Cummings all the way back.
Trapuka, and Notre Dame in front, 6-4 on the first points for Kelly Trapuka.
That young man did not make some All-American teams. I think he's the most underrated player in college basketball. Been great in every big game Notre Dame's had this year.
Been great for 4 years. He's averaged double figures for 4 years.
And with that basket, Trapuka's moved up on the all-time scoring list. Dillard ties it for DePaul at
6. Great man-to-man, good cut.
Trapuka scores again. He has passed Bob Arnzen into the all-time list for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Austin Carr, Adrian Danley, Tom Hawkins, and now Kelly Trapuka, the top 4 scorers all time in Notre Dame history.
As you can see, they've got a little diamond right there.
And there's the second foul on Tim Andre of Notre Dame.
Little diamond right there, and they've got Woolridge playing McGuire. The other 4 fellas are playing a little zone and matching up in that zone.
The Fighting Irish comment.
Watch Woolridge. He'll follow McGuire no matter where he goes.
His second. Second.
Inside, wide open, McGuire. His first basket, and it's tied at 8.
Man-to-man.
Why is he playing man-to-man? The time before, they should have got a layup, but Cummings walked. You can't play man-to-man against the ball being taken out under the basket. No way.
Here's DePaul in the zone for the first time.
Coach Digger Phelps is critical of you saying things like that in past performances.
I can't be your friend and your flatterer, too.
Jackson, block. Grubbs with a block and the short. Jackson rebounds for Notre Dame. Tied at 8. Here come the Irish. Paxson down the lane. Great feed, and then Trapuka had it knocked away. It's to Notre Dame.
John Paxson is some ball player. Only a sophomore. Wow.
Timeout has been called with 4 minutes and a second played in this first half. Second-rated DePaul against 6th-ranked Notre Dame. They're even at 8.
Choose a video recorder with this slow-motion picture when you can choose one this clear. Introducing the new Zenith Beta Video Recorder, the clear choice. Look, Zenith Slow Motion, clear. Zenith Stop Action, clear. Zenith Frame-by-Frame Advance, clear. Zenith also gives you 14-day programming and remote speed search with picture. Zenith's newest video director, the clear choice.
Right Guard knows a man needs all the protection he can get. That's why a man needs Right Guard. Right Guard has a male effectiveness formula so strong it helps stop a man's perspiration odor all day long. So no matter which Right Guard you choose, you can't buy harder working protection. A man works hard, but Right Guard works harder.
North slope's clear and head wall's clear.
I guess it's Miller time.
Last one down buys.
Right.
I can taste that free beer now.
When it's time to relax,
what took you so long?
one beer stands clear, Miller beer, if you got the time. We've got the beer.
Join the captivating Dinah Shore as she hosts one of the coveted crown jewels in women's golf during the weekend of April 4th and 5th on NBC.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
Number 22, Bernard Golf Arendon.
4 minutes gone. DePaul and Notre Dame tied at 8. The Irish break huddle. Here's that all-time list of Notre Dame top scorers. Austin Carr, then Adrian Dantley, Tom Hawkins, and now Trapuka has moved into the number 4 spot. Notre Dame's ball.
There's Randolph into the ball game right now. So that gives him an entirely different look.
And another turnover. Bernard Randolph wears number 22 for DePaul.
What happened that time is DePaul changed his defense, went to his zone on the out-of-bounds ball.
Dillard brings it up. With the Irish in his zone, Randolph, a good shooter, inserted into the game.
They showed zone Dickman to man-to-man first time today.
Dillard can't hit. Rebound Trapuka. The Irish on the run. Jackson. And a foul.
He's so strong going up inside. Going to be on Dillard trying to reach in. He just held his ground and powered right through for the jumper.
Here it is again.
Jackson likes to pull up. You very seldom see him take it all the way to the hoop. But watch him right here. He just powered the ball right on through. Dillard couldn't hold his ground. Dillard's not exactly a weakling himself.
Well, Dillard comes in at 6'2", and Jackson, they got down at 6'6".
Jackson averaging nearly 13 points a game, looking for his first today. It remains tied at 8. He's hitting 71% from the line.
But Dick, the thing interesting, he's only been to the line 55 times all year. It shows you he's going to pull up and take the jumper. So a player defensively ought to make him keep that ball on the ground. Make him go to the hoop.
9-8 Notre Dame. DePaul has not led in this early going. Game has been tied.
Now back to the zone concept again now. In fact, it's a straight zone.
Much like the game between Notre Dame and Virginia a couple of weeks ago, the game's been tied at 2, 4, 6, and 8.
What they're doing on that baseline, they're verbally passing Mark McGuire along. You can catch it by the cameras. Mark McGuire moves, they verbally pass him on to the next man.
McGuire deep in the corner, can't hit it, but it comes out to Dillard. A break for the Blue Demons. That's Randolph, way off the mark. Andre tipped it to Paxson.
Oh, that's a good rebound by Andre because he was blocked out. Did a nice job getting his hands on it.
Trapuka inside to Woolridge. He scores and he is fouled by Cummings.
Give Kelly credit there on that bounce pass. Beautiful.
This Notre Dame team is quite a veteran club to have those three fellas leading them in scoring and rebounding. Minutes, with the exception of Paxton, minutes played, been around a long time together.
And here's the man at the line, gentlemen, who thrilled a big crowd 2 weeks ago with that fall-away jumper with 2 seconds left to upset Virginia. He can't hit the three-point play and remains 11-8 Notre Dame. McGuire, Randolph with a good fake, and that leaves McGuire open. Can't hit.
He pulled the string on that one.
Trapuka rebounds for Notre Dame.
You see Mark going down the court trying to make his wrist work properly. He really pulled the string on it. Straight zone now. 1-2-2.
Ray Meyer will be picking our most valuable player. $1,000 awarded to the university. From Chevrolet, that'll be announced, of course, later in the game. And stay with us. Right after the conclusion of the game, we'll have the announcement of the pairings. Andre alone, and Notre Dame builds a 5-point lead at 13-8.
Give that guy some credit on the sidelines there. That was well conceived.
Excellent teamwork that time. Beautiful. Looked like Oregon State.
Keep changing these defenses. Now it's kind of a 1-3-1 setup.
Fire inside.
When he's in the paint, put it in the book.
Mark McGuire has 4 points. 67-year-old Ray Meyer. How many fans around this country cheering for the grand man of basketball to get to that Final Four again?
Now man to man.
Trapuka banks it home. 15-10. Trapuka has 6.
Ray Meyer trying to figure out how to stop Notre Dame. They're playing so well. Everything they do, they recognize the defenses, get the shots off properly.
Outstanding athletes out there.
Bradshaw up the alley. Score! First points for Bradshaw. 15-12, Notre Dame with the lead and the ball. We played 7 minutes.
They're going to give Randolph an education today if he's going to stay on him.
Randolph, a slapping foul. And Notre Dame will play it on the side. First foul for Randolph. Each side with 2 team fouls.
You know, Dick, there's so many different philosophies about changing defenses. Bobby Knight's example says, hey, we play one solid defense and have certain tendencies with it. Digger changes defenses so much that it confuses the offense. I don't see how the kids keep up with it, though, as well as they do.
Andre left alone again. They're working the ball inside to Andre, and DePaul appears to be surprised he's getting the ball so often.
Kelly Trapuka is drawing a man off him. He dumped it off 3 times now for 6 points.
Randolph can't hit. Cummings is fouled by Andre, and that's his 3rd foul, and that hurts the Irish.
Not really, Dick, because Joe Klein can come in and neutralize just about the same way. It's like a Clydesdale. Both of them, they split 10 fouls. They usually split about playing time, but Tim Andre playing a little bit more.
But Andre seemed to be off to a good start offensively, and you can see how reluctant he is to sit down, and Digger Phelps wincing in pain as he heard that whistle. Inside to McGuire, works on Klein immediately. Out there, and Tracy Jackson with a rebound. Here comes Trapuka against Randolph.
Nice.
Misses the layup. Klein misses. And it's Randolph the other way, knocked away by Jackson of Notre Dame.
It sells into a foot race that time. Looked like a track meet.
It might help DePaul to get into a little running meet right now because offensively in their half-court offense, they can't adjust to all these different things that Notre Dame's been doing. Back to man out of bounds, Al. Got away with it that time.
Bradshaw inside to Randolph, and Trapuka steals it for Notre Dame. 17-12, the Irish lead. Once beaten DePaul, their only loss was by 1 point to Old Dominion in the middle of the year. No unbeaten teams in college basketball this season. Paxson is open and hits. The biggest lead for the Irish at 7.
They really are in control of this ball game early. They really know what they're doing offensively and defensively. McGuire hadn't been able to figure out what they do each time down the court. It's been something different. There he is again confused.
Traveling against McGuire as he was trying to maneuver around Woolridge. Timeout with 11 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this first half. Ray Meyer's Demons find themselves down by 7.
Trapuka might have charged a little bit there. Cummings didn't go down. Paxson, who plays so well against the man-to-man defense, scores much more.
Let's do something romantic.
It's their anniversary.
I thought we were buying a frying pan.
A fancy restaurant.
Let's hem out some flowers.
A dark restaurant with candles.
Where are we going to find that?
Hold it.
Matching wallet.
Hold it. The first step is the yellow pages.
The Bell System Yellow Pages, the first step to help you plan a celebration. Before you waste time and energy, take the first step. Let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Dad, we may have to borrow some money. Oh.
Want to know 4 ways to help get better gas mileage?
Tell us, Mr. Goodwrench.
First, air up. Keeping tires at recommended pressure can help save up to a gallon of gas per tank. Next, tune up. That can help save up to 2 gallons.
Wow!
Then, clean up. Get new filters. And slow up. You can go farther on a tank full.
Keep that great GM feeling. Thanks a tank full, Mr. Goodwrench. With genuine GM parts.
It has produced some of the most memorable moments in sports, the NCAA playoffs. Don't miss a chapter of sports history, climaxing in the primetime extravaganza on Monday, March 30th.
Right after the game and the NCAA pairings, stay with us for Sports World. Down to the 7th and final round of the World Professional Figure Skating Championships, and it's incredibly close. Today's event will decide the championship. You'll see Peggy Fleming, Dorothy Hamill, Starbuck and Shelley for the Stars team, Babylonian Gardner, Fradiani, Tickner, Robin Cousins for the 1980 Olympic team. On NBC Sports World to follow. 11:38 remaining in this first half. Notre Dame 19, DePaul 12, and the Irish have the ball.
Digger always plays his last regular season game on the road to get ready for the NCAA, because he says all the games in the NCAA are on the road.
Fine inside to Woolridge. He traveled.
Oh, he had position, too.
I think he didn't know quite where the hoop was. He was afraid he was directly underneath it, and in taking that little step, he lost the possession.
He was also worried about the 3-second ball. He was in there quite a long time.
Grubbs outside. Cummings now moving outside. Bradshaw free. Boy, they're shooting cold from outside. McGuire hustling for the rebound.
They were playing a box-and-1 on McGuire that time with Woolridge taking him. Showing so many different looks defensively. It's hard for Mark McGuire to get himself the ball where he'd like it.
Cummings, or it's Grubbs, and he can't hit. Out of bounds to whom? To DePaul. They really seem tight on those jump shots, especially Bradshaw was so wide open.
What happens, they're wide open and they're measuring. You can't measure a shot. You got to let it fly.
Knocked away by Tracy Jackson, but saved by Bradshaw. 19-12, Notre Dame leading DePaul. Dillard, he's way off.
Looked like a shades of the St. John game.
Yeah, that's rare, but I think we had to hit a couple of shots and they'll get back on the game.
Of course, they'd like to break McGuire out, but Woolridge is such a good defensive player, and playing box-and-1 type defenses, he's got help.
It's not really a box, I don't believe, Billy.
Trapuka scores, and he is fouled. McGuire gets the foul, and Notre Dame has opened up a 21-12 lead.
What they're doing, they're playing McGuire without the ball.
Here he comes, McGuire on Trapuka, trying to pick up. Looked to me like a charge.
McGuire would agree, Billy Packer, but the officials have ticketed McGuire with his first foul, and at the line, Trapuka looking for his 9th point of the game. The Irish lead by 10 with 10 minutes, 14 seconds left in the half.
Watching their playing without the ball. He gets in front of him.
They're playing a box-and-1 on him.
Cummings working hard for that shot. And it's Joe Klein for Notre Dame. Here come the Irish, 3-on-1. Oh, a beautiful steal by Bradshaw. And it's knocked away again by the Irish.
If DePaul scores here, that play by Bradshaw is the key play of the game so far. If DePaul scores here.
McGuire on Woolridge inside. He scores. He's fouled.
You know why it's a key play? It made a dip between a 12-point spread and an 8-point spread.
4-point turnaround, as you said. Here's Bradshaw back there. Incredible anticipation because he had a 3-on-1 situation here where he was the only guy back.
And let's come back to the basket by McGuire.
McGuire so tough when he gets it down low, and he came out of there after he made it right at that point saying, "Get me the ball."
Well, Woolridge got him back. When once you're playing back McGuire, it's Tap City.
Looking for a 7th point, the all-time score, DePaul history. 22-15 the score on the 3-point play by McGuire.
Mark that spot, Dick, where Bradshaw stole the ball.
All right. It came at the 9:32 mark.
With a 10-point spread on a fast break.
They're back in the zone pressing it. Cummings all the way back. Not guarding the guy taking the ball out of bounds.
Paxson has had an outstanding year, this sophomore from Dayton, Ohio. Woolridge.
Nice.
The Klein. He scores it. Joe Klein. The freshman from Missouri has his first points. Notre Dame leading by 9 points with 9 minutes left in the half.
They're back to the box at 1 again.
Grubbs can't hit, and Klein rebounds. Cummings knocked it out of bounds.
That Klein is strong, isn't he?
I thought that shot selection was not a proper time.
Seems to me they got to figure out a way to get Mark McGuire in the game offensively. When he's touched it, he's done well, but they just haven't had it in his hands very much.
The key they got to do is keep the ball out of Paxton's hand. Once he gets the ball, he gets the rhythm now. Sets up Notre Dame, he dishes it off properly. He's the quarterback, the glue, obviously, of the team.
There's McGuire fronting Woolridge with a steal.
He's going himself on this one.
And Paxson gets the foul.
Boy, for a big guy, he can handle that ball and move, can he?
First foul on Paxson of Notre Dame.
The Fighting Irish personal was on 23.
87 games McGuire has played, 87 times in double figures. His low was 12, his high 47. And certainly one of the top candidates for the John Wooden Award as college basketball's outstanding player this year.
Surprisingly, Dick, he's big on the board, but no one talks about him. He averages 9 rebounds a game.
Those are big numbers, especially when Cummings has a little over 9 himself. He's also up there fighting to clean the glass.
And Grubbs also, you know, he really plays the third front line position.
24-16, 8 points now for McGuire.
He got a good drop spot.
Get it back to Paxson.
Woolridge
puts it on the floor pretty well for a big guy, too. Now they got Cummings on Tribuca, trying to get somebody to slow him down. Turn it over.
Yeah, he got away with the palm.
Paxson way off the mark. Bradshaw, 2-on-2. Beautiful play by Bradshaw.
Oh, Dick, did you see him did the single to the guy to get into the left lane? Spread it out, open it up, and let me dish it off to you. Unbelievable.
And then the behind-the-back pass to Dillard. And Notre Dame's lead has been carved to 6. Bradshaw with another steal. And the foul's on Paxson of Notre Dame.
He absolutely stepped in that time.
And listen to this crowd.
They're going to see Bradshaw. Al, you made the point. There was that little hand motion. Get behind me, Skip. And he did it with the left hand. The right-handed player put it back there with the left hand. Super play.
The whole state of New Jersey got to be pleased with that guy.
Oh, that's pretty play. Nice work, Ken Edmondson, our producer, and Harry Coyle directing those shots.
On January 5th, Chevy Chevette scooter sticker price was reduced by $100. And now Chevrolet and participating dealers introduce a $500 cash bonus. Take delivery of a new Chevy Chevette scooter between now and March 19th, and you get $500 back from Chevrolet, or apply the bonus to your down payment. That makes it the lowest priced car sold in America, foreign or domestic. The lowest priced car sold in America, Chevy Chevette. Solid proof Chevrolet wants to help get America rolling.
Ready for a real chainsaw? Now's the time to move up to red, Homelight Red. Because now your dealer's making it easy to get your hands on a Homelight. Like the powerful new 330, feature-packed with solid-state ignition, pro-style handguards, anti-vibration system, automatic chain oiling, and right now, a rugged $25 carry case free. Move up to red at your Homelight dealer. Check out the savings on the 330 and other fine chainsaws from Homelight.
After 6 weeks of dramatic competition, it's the Stars team with Peggy Fleming versus the 80s team with Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner in a unique team skate-off to determine the world team champion. Plus, two angry heavyweights wage war as Ronaldo Mr. Snipes battles Floyd Jumbo Cummings later today.
That fight's for the bragging rights of Chicago. Both Snipes and Cummings unbeaten. They hail from the Windy City. That'll be on NBC Sports World right after today's game and the NCAA pairings update. Snipes versus Cummings. Young heavyweights. A couple of heavyweights in college basketball feature today. Ray Meyer's DePaul team trailing Notre Dame and Digger Phelps at 24-18 with 7:41 left in the half. DePaul's ball.
Next foul is going to be a 1-and-1 for Notre Dame coming 7:40 to go. Got a little advantage there.
16 fouls, Notre Dame 4 for DePaul.
There's that diamond in one again, keeping McGuire from nailing that ball much.
And a steal by Notre Dame. Paxson comes up with it.
Teddy Grubb's a little bit out of sync out there today. He just can't get his hand on the ball.
Jackson inside. And McGuire loses it out of bounds. Last touch by Woolridge.
Normally that shot by Tracy, you can usually say it's 2.
Yeah, as I said before, he's only been the foul line 50-some times. When you see him coming, you got to go right at him. Make him keep the ball on the ground. Don't let him pull up for the jumper. See how they've got double team on McGuire? Cummings hits! And Notre Dame's lead is cut to 4, 24-20. That's going to have to happen because McGuire really sandwiched in there.
First points for Cummings. Crowd led by 10, now down to 4.
That crowd's starting to get in the game, Dick.
It's a partisan DePaul audience. Trabuca, tough shot and a foul. Cummings with the arm, his second. You really like this young man, don't you, Al? Terry Cummings.
Oh, I think he's definitely an All-American. Just, Clyde Bradshaw and Mark McGuire get most of the attention. But Cummings, the next couple of years, he'll be there.
Stole by Teddy Grubbs. And a foul on Woolridge reaching in. And that's the 7th team foul against Notre Dame. DePaul in the bonus. Digger Phelps, who is a little critical of our broadcasting partners during the week, and he's going to have a chance to express himself at halftime. Ray Meyer, he'll do his critique of Messrs. Packer and McGuire.
Digger looking for another job.
Well, he's been doing a little color commentary, and I think he would like to do more of that. Bradshaw with a chance to whittle away at that lead. It's down to 3.
Al, I'm going to go back and say you're absolutely right. The big play of this game might turn out to be for the whole game was when Clyde Bradshaw broke up that 3-1 run.
Especially because it was going to go up to 12 points.
That's 7 unanswered points for DePaul, and it's a 24-22 lead. 6.5 minutes remaining. Foul on McGuire. He didn't like the call.
Well, you better be real careful. He's going to be getting a technical on top of it.
Everything but tears from McGuire.
I tell you, that official came real close to hitting him with one, which would have been a bad one to get because you're going to get the ball back.
24, Mark McGuire.
I say hit him.
Yeah, there's a foul.
Oh, mother.
Tell you what, that's Academy Award stuff.
We got an Emmy right over here.
Man-to-man by DePaul. They stayed this way. The zone just didn't work too well.
Trabuca clear. Cummings rebounds.
Oh, what a pass. Wide.
Too high for Bradshaw.
And too hard. See, they're making it.
Oh, what a play.
And then Bradshaw throws it to Trabuca over and back. Trabuca was Notre Dame's front court. It's one of those unlucky breaks. Nothing to do about that.
Skip Dillard got his hand on the ball, which
You
created...
see it right here. This is an interesting play. See, they're making Jackson put that ball on the floor. Bradshaw tries to get it going, and you're absolutely right, Dick. He did have possession of that ball in the front court and to the back.
Joe Klein loses it out of bounds. DePaul's ball, and they have a chance to tie it up. Notre Dame has not scored in more than 4 minutes.
Well, he probably could have got that ball if the Notre Dame cheerleaders hadn't been right in the way, but of course that's one of the breaks of the game.
Outside to Bradshaw, looking for the tying basket. Cummings against Klein. 24-24.
Terry, where'd you get that shot from? Wow.
Well, he can shoot that jumper, and he extends so high with those hands of his.
9 points in a row for DePaul to tie it up. And it all began with Bradshaw's steal. Woolridge open. He pulled it up short. Out of bounds. No, saved by McGuire. Here come the Demons. They have not led in this game. Bradshaw.
Beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Billy, he's the best guard in the country.
But do you like it?
I like it.
Why don't you sit back down in your chair?
Did you see what he did then?
Here he comes. You explain it.
No, I'm not gonna. He goes through his legs here, okay? He goes up in the air, pulls the defensive man off, kicks it down to Dillard. That's all she wrote.
There was the through the legs deal, and he occupied 3 defensive players, almost 4.
11 straight points for DePaul, spurred by Bradshaw.
National Car Rental believes business travelers deserve national attention.
You deserve some national attention. You deserve a national smile.
You deserve that smile.
You deserve a national reception. When you come in after all those miles,
come try us.
A national welcome and a good, clean GM car. You deserve national attention, 'cause we know how special you are.
You deserve national attention.
I want to show you how Texaco research is paying off in a way you probably never imagined. Watch. For the car of the future, Texaco is researching ways to turn even more petrochemicals into special parts that are strong, lightweight, and safe. Doors, bumpers, even fenders.
Hi, Bob.
That's research. When Texaco's petrochemicals are put in the body of your car, you'll put less gasoline in your tank.
Sunday on Chips, a motorcycle gang forces Punch into a deadly martial arts showdown. Then, American Graffiti starring Ron Howard, Cindy Williams, and Richard Dreyfuss. Sunday.
DePaul's Ray Meyer, 67 years young. He was a captain at Notre Dame. He graduated with the Fighting Irish back in 1938.
Let's go!
This is his biggest year, perhaps, losing only once to Old Dominion, 63-62. He said, I really don't care if I win today, and it was hard to believe that. He said, you know, I'd rather be 3rd or 4th in the nation. I'm not sure I want to go into the tournament ranked number 1. But now that the game's begun, there's enough intensity there to start a forest fire on that DePaul bench.
You hear him say, let's go. He sounds like Geronimo.
New man in the ball
Bill
game.
Varner, number 34 with the ball for Notre Dame.
Boy, they're playing belly button to belly button on D now.
Yeah, you notice they got Woolridge now playing the center position. I'll be anxious to see what they do down the other end, as they don't have the big man in the game.
The Irish were leading 24-15, and Tripucka can't hit. Cummings rebounds. Here comes Bradshaw. Oh, what a pass to Grubbs.
Just stay in your lane. He'll dish it off to you.
You know, Notre Dame was getting killed off the boards on the second shot. By now going to the smaller lineup, they're even at a bigger disadvantage.
Well, they got to get the ball more into Kelly Tripucka down low now.
13 points in a row for DePaul.
Nice fake.
McGuire blocked the shot, but Dillard had fouled earlier.
Nice head and shoulder fake by Tracy Jackson.
And that gives a chance for the Irish to break the scoring drought. They've gone over 5 minutes without a point.
You watch him put it on the floor. Now, you know he's going to pull up. Dillard went up in the air. Even though McGuire blocked it later, Dillard had pulled his arm down as he went through the twosome.
Jackson, a senior, from Silver Spring, Maryland, completing his great career with the Irish. And that's the first time they've scored since Notre Dame led 24-15. It was at that point when Bradshaw made that great steal and denied the Irish on the fast break.
Let's see if Notre Dame presses right after this. They're going to drop back. They respect, I think, Bradshaw's handling ability so much that they don't want to go after him man-to-man. They got the zone pressure on.
It's a token. Not really aggressive, Billy.
Yep. I think they really respect his talents.
4 minutes remaining in the half. 28-26. And Bradshaw scores himself. Well, he's been serving it up for everyone else. He figured he'd take a bite of the food himself.
On this corner, a local magazine asked me to name the top 12 players in the Midwest. 6 of them are playing on this court.
A steal for Bradshaw, but he used his leg to kick it.
He kicked it.
Boy, he'd have been a great hockey goalie, wouldn't he?
Digger really upset because his team cannot get in the offense. Bradshaw is just all over the place. Have to isolate him somewhere. Get him down on the baseline so he can't get his hands going. Look at him. He's all over the place.
That's going up.
Jackson inside. He can't hit it. Rebound Woolridge. Paxson. Good. And it's 30-28. DePaul's lead cut to 2.
That's a smart move by Paxson. You got to run away from Bradshaw. Occupy him. Stay away from the ball. He'll turn his head eventually.
Bradshaw. He's hot. Not on that one. Woolridge with the rebound. Notre Dame can tie with a goal on this trip. 3 minutes left in the half.
Clyde Bradshaw plays a lot like Walt Frazier. He was at Southern Illinois, the Salukis, many years ago, obviously the New York Knickerbockers.
He's here in attendance today, Walt Frazier.
Oh, what a move.
Woolridge. And they say he traveled.
No, he kicked the ball that time. Cummings hit the ball and went off Woolridge's foot.
You know, that move that he's trying to make works nicely from the sidelines, but to try to go from the top of the key down through the pipe, it's very tough.
Cummings scores, and a charge on Cummings. That'll be a big foul. That is Cummings' 3rd foul. The basket is good.
Let's see if we see Randolph coming in. They probably need to get him out of there with just 2:32 to go, 2:37.
And a bonus in effect. So Notre Dame will shoot at the other end.
Yep. Shabuka Smart held his ground.
Cummings, his 3rd.
And here comes Randolph in the ball game. Can't afford to pick up number 4 in this first half.
2:37 remaining before the intermission. We'll have highlights of that big upset, Arizona State against Oregon State. We'll have comments from both coaches as they critique my partners. And we'll also have a look at a scrambled top 10. And about halftime, we should be getting the news from the NCAA headquarters, some of the pairings. So we'll be sharing that with you in the second half. We'll have the complete pairings after the game.
That sign, Kelly Tripucka is an Irish social disease. Now, what kind of mind would draw that up on a Sunday morning? The guy's a great player and a real fine kid.
And he now has 11 points in the game. DePaul leads by 2.
Zone pressure, as you said, Allison, token. You don't want to get too tough with it. Bradshaw will bust those 2 and get on through for an easy one. McGuire's got him now. He's got Woolridge. There it is.
And McGuire scores. He's unstoppable.
He is so strong, Dick. He put Woolridge on his back and just held him there.
What do you mean his back? His butt?
McGuire has scored in double figures now, his 88th consecutive game. He started with a roar right here on NBC against UCLA. Oh, Woolridge, no basket. He traveled.
Orlando's trying to take it. Look at McGuire coming over and shaking hands with him, saying that's a nice play anyways. You'll see him come across. Yeah, he took one extra step. And Mark McGuire came over because he likes to see good plays, too. There you go, Al. Watch
He
it.
goes up there. He gets up here for Big Daddy. Man.
Boy, that is some play. Just the athletic ability necessary to make that play something.
4:30. DePaul leads. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half. McGuire not there. Grubbs.
Oh, he came back under the rim.
No basket. Traveling was the call.
Even if it hadn't been traveling, I think they grabbed that ball while it was up there on that rim.
34-30. Notre Dame trails DePaul. 1 minute, 40 seconds left in the half.
Kind of funny they don't get that ball to Kelly some and make McGuire work defensively because he get him in a little foul trouble.
That one was knocked away by Dillard. Right back to Paxson, and he is fouled by Grubbs. First foul on Grubbs of DePaul.
Very fortunate that they got Cummings out of there fast enough that Grubbs picked up the foul.
Yep.
The Moody McPherson was on 34. Teddy Grubbs, his first.
Both head coaches, by the way, have books on the market. Ray Meyer's written by Jimmy Enright, called Ray Meyer, America's #1 basketball coach, has done very well, especially here in the Chicago area. Digger Phelps with a new book, Digger Phelps and Notre Dame basketball. He collaborated with Pat Scanlon, and both interesting reading. Paxson looking for his 8th point.
Averages a little bit over 36 minutes a game. Plays more time than anyone else on Notre Dame.
McGuire with a rebound. DePaul's lead is 3.
Mark McGuire gets 2 hands on the ball. You don't see many people yank it away, do you? He's trying to get Woolridge in that same position again, but Varner's helping him. There it is.
McGuire again. Blocked by Woolridge. And a foul on Woolridge.
I don't know about that foul. Woolridge was right behind. Now what Ray Meyer's looking for is the 2 points. I think it was. Now here comes McGuire over. He's playing diplomat today. The basket should not count. We'll see it right here. But look at how he holds off.
His third.
I guess he might have got him with the body afterwards, but he sure got that ball.
Mark McGuire, a junior. It's generally understood this will be his last collegiate season, that he will go hardship in the NBA draft.
Al, you can see what he's doing. He's taking Woolridge up higher now and then just turning on him, which he puts him on his back. Somebody from Notre Dame is going to have to help from the weak side because he's going to have that all day long.
88 games, 88 times in double figures. First game against UCLA as a freshman. Remember, he hit 27.
Hard pressure up court. They make the mistake of putting the ball into Paxson's hands. Once he gets it, they'll break the press.
Oh, Clyde Bradshaw saw Varner. He just attacked him.
Jackson will shoot and hit. 36-33. Tracy Jackson connects. He has 5. Last minute of this half. 54-53 seconds. Randolph across to Bradshaw. Not there. Rebound Jackson. So the Irish can pull within 1.
Oh,
Bradshaw again. Here we go.
Mr. Fame.
That's the second time today that Bradshaw's had a 4-point turnaround.
Repuka is fouled by McGuire with the body. 3rd foul on Mark McGuire.
Take him out of there, coach.
Even with 20 seconds left.
Get him out. Get him out right away.
As he'll try to take the ball to the hoop and pick up that offensive charge.
Personal was on 24.
Leading scorer in the game, McGuire.
Yeah, you better believe in the second half if the ball tries to go man-to-man, that Digger's going to attack McGuire with Repuka.
I think they're flirting with danger. Leaving Mark McGuire in there, he can get called for a charging foul. He likes to go to the iron.
Meanwhile, Repuka, the man they call the master of disaster on the South Bend campus. Repuka, who has just been a solid 4-year star for Notre Dame. 38-34.
He's an unbelievable foul shooter. I think for his 4 years, he averages about 80%.
And he's 4 for 4 today. 38-35. Repuka with 13 points.
A lot of time left. Bradshaw pretty smart.
Yeah, watch the conductor handle these last 15 seconds.
They've got Varner on him now. Boy, Ray Meyer would love to have McGuire without those 3 fouls.
7-4 now. Seconds. 3, 2. It'll count if it goes. And that's the end of the first half as Randolph unable to hit the jump shot. 2 of the nation's best in this first 20 minutes. And at the intermission, Ray Meyer leaves with a 3-point lead. And here's the punctuation mark for DePaul in their comeback as the steal by Dillard and McGuire wide open for the slam dunk. The Irish led by as much as 10, and then saw DePaul run off 13 points in a row, and it's the Demons 38, the Irish 35 at the break.
I can tell a real cowboy from the drugstore kind, clean across Texas. The way he wears his hat will tell you. And the beer that you drink's a surefire giveaway, too. A lot of us drink light beer from Miller. We love the taste, but we surely appreciate that it's got a third less calories than the regular kind. You see, you don't want to be filled up when you're out there punching doggies. Ain't that right, cowboy? I didn't punch that doggie.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The Great All-American Workshop sale is back. Special offers on name-brand tools you want most for your home and car. Like the drill guide, part of Black & Decker's Power Package. If you buy one now, you'll also get 5 jigsaw blades, a circular saw blade, and 3 drill bits. Black & Decker's Power Package. It'll fill your toolbox without emptying your wallet. So don't wait. Visit a participating hardware home center store now and save at the Great All-American Workshop sale.
Last year, in a remote coal mining town in Pennsylvania, things were looking pretty black. The mine's generator shorted out, and replacing it required a 19,000-pound crane that was 3,000 miles away. That's why they called Emery. For we not only carry more weight than anyone, we carry it to more places more often. So overnight, we helped this remote coal mining town see the light at the end of the tunnel. Emery, at the right place at the right time.
The name of one of America's major life insurance companies may surprise you. It's State Farm. We're probably better known for homeowners and car insurance, but more and more families are discovering we're good for life, too. We deal with customers on all kinds of family insurance, so we get to know their needs. Because we're family insurance agents, we can do a better job in your life insurance.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's life insurance the State Farm way.
As they await their first child, Laura and Almanzo recall romantic moments.
I want you to be my wife.
I'd love to.
A 2-hour Little House, Monday.
Back at the horizon in Rosemont, Illinois. At the intermission, DePaul leads Notre Dame 38-35. We really had 2 different halves. The first 10 minutes belonged to Notre Dame, and the last 10 minutes to DePaul as the Demons ran off 13 points in a row.
Well, the key out there is Clyde Bradshaw today. He's playing like a wild card. He's floating around the court, blocking up the passing lanes. The thing to watch the second half is there's 3 fouls on Cummins and there's 3 fouls on McGuire. If either one picks up another foul, DePaul's in trouble. DePaul's Achilles heel is their bench. It's not that deep.
How about you, Billy? What do you think?
Well, I think Digger Phelps realized that point very well, and I think he's going to have Trabuca attacking either guy that tries to handle him, because it either has to be McGuire or it has to be Cummings. We might see DePaul going straight zone in the second half.
And we have an interesting halftime show for you. We'll start at 2 o'clock. We got 10 more minutes. We'll be able to talk about the pairings. They've been announced. We have them. We'll have to wait to the 2 o'clock deadline. Of course, we'll have all the pairings for you in our post-game show. And we'll be looking at the top 10. We'll visit with both head coaches for you on our college basketball report, which will follow right after these messages from your local stations.
Sunday on Chips, a motorcycle gang forces Punch into a deadly martial arts showdown. Then it's the comedy hit of the 60s, American Graffiti, rocking you to a good time, starring Ron Howard, Cindy Williams, Mackenzie Phillips, Richard Dreyfuss, and Suzanne Summers.
Come on, boy, let's go.
Cruise on into American Graffiti, Sunday starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
The Bell System College Basketball Report is brought to you by Bell System Yellow Pages. If you want to save time and energy, take the first step. Let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Some house, but you need a new heating system.
Gas is
We
nice.
heard wood stoves were efficient. Wood's not cheap.
There's oil. Can we use the fireplace?
How about steam? You gotta have insulation.
I know electric.
Hold it, hold it.
So heat.
Hold it. The first step is the Yellow Pages.
The Bell System Yellow Pages, the first step in helping you solve a heating problem. Before you waste time and money, take the first step. Let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Some storm.
The house is cozy.
The job of basketball analyst is not an easy one. I'm glad I just have to do the play-by-play. Billy and Al are the ones who have to critique at times, and as Al has said, you can't be your friend and a flatterer too. And some coaches perhaps don't like the fact that analysts don't say all the right things about them, but we wouldn't be very good reporters if that were the case. Well, here's what Digger and Ray think of us.
I think Billy and Al put a lot of pressure on the coaches around the country. In most situations, as you look at a game or you listen to the tape after a game, it just takes one or two comments to bring in the mail from around the country. I know at times when people want to know why we only have a center that is slow or we don't have the aircraft carrier, I think each coach does the best he can do within his program to go out and find the right players that belong in that particular institution and yet to try to coach the game the best way he knows how. And I think during the battlefield moments, you're just out there doing the best you can, and yet it's easy to sometimes second guess. And I think in some situations there's been a lot of second guesses of strategy as well as personnel during basketball games. But we still love Al and Billy.
Well, I rate Billy Packer and Al McGuire as two of the best commentaries on the air. I know that some coaches get a little bit upset with them, but I understand that they're not doing their commentary to please the coaches. They're doing it to please the fans, and they're doing a super job of it. And after all, as a coach, if you're on TV several times, they've said all the good they can say about you. What else can they say? So they start concentrating on the game. And after all, both of them were former coaches, and they understand the game of basketball. And so what? We're all been criticized as a coach. You got to take that in stride. That's like when you start coaching, it's inevitable that you're going to either get fired, retire. It's one or the other. So what's the difference? Just take it in stride. If the fans are happy, I'm happy.
All right, Ray Meyer and Digger Phelps reaction. What's your comment?
I'll let Al comment.
Where did Al go anyway?
He's hiding somewhere.
Well, Ray Meyer told us earlier this year there would be no unbeaten teams, and he almost was wrong. But last night, the last of the undefeated, Oregon State tasted defeat at home. Last night, Corvallis, Oregon, unbeaten Oregon State tastes defeat for the first time this year at the hands of hot shooting Arizona State. Steve Johnson, Oregon State star center, saddled with 3 fouls early, played only 3 minutes of the first half, and shooting by Scott and Williams. Arizona State over 70% for the half, led 40-20 at halftime. And they continued their hot shooting, led by Scott's game high of 25 points. Steve Johnson with 18, the top scorer for the Beavers. But the final, 5th-rated Arizona State 87, Oregon State 67. The upset by the Sun Devils of Arizona State at Oregon State by 20 points last night. There were some phenomenal upsets by big scores this past week.
Well, I saw a couple of them. I saw Maryland just totally wipe out Virginia in a ball game this week. The games in the SEC were amazing. LSU getting knocked off, Kentucky getting knocked off. I saw that triple overtime game in the Big East. Villanova playing an outstanding game. They had it made against Syracuse, back and forth. I enjoyed watching Dolph Shays, watching his son play in that game, Dick. It was so exciting, and I know that he has to feel great the way his son played.
And how about here in Big Ten country? Indiana moves into the Big Ten championship as Iowa lost twice this week. Here's the top 10. AP on the left, the coaches poll, the UPI on the right. Oregon State loses. So if DePaul wins today, it figures they will be number 1. LSU lost during the week. So did Virginia. Arizona State has to move up.
Well, they have to move up. An outstanding team. Jerry West told me they might have more personnel in the starting lineup than any team in the country.
Notre Dame sitting in the 6th position. Should they win, how far would they go up the ladder?
Well, they could go a long way. And you know what's exciting about going down the line here? You see the upsets that took place. Utah, with Brigham Young just wiping them out this week. And, of course, Tennessee got beat in the SEC tournament also.
A couple of teams that did win yesterday will move up into the top 10. Here are some scores from the various conference championships. Western Kentucky, the regular season champion, also winning their tournament. And Clem Haskins will be a feature, the head coach of Western Kentucky, in one of our future tournament games. Mississippi wins the SEC.
A big day yesterday for Indiana basketball because Mississippi coached by a guy that was an understudy to Bobby Knight. So Bobby sends him out there. His teams do well, and so do his disciples.
Southern University, the winner. Houston beats Texas in the Southwest. It figures that both Houston and Arkansas will get into the tournament.
They'll be in there, no question about it. Lamar, a team that really throws it up well. They've been there before. They were dark horse before, but it's a solid ball club.
Ball State won 20 games. They're in the tournament. They beat Northern Illinois for the MAC championship. Idaho, a club that's been sitting out there quietly winning and winning and winning. Not many people know much about the Vandals.
Well, I can remember the year that Montana State almost beat UCLA, so that's a conference very quiet, but obviously must have a quality team there in Idaho.
Syracuse figures to make it to the tournament, maybe Villanova too. We'll have that word in just a few moments. Creighton wins in the Missouri Valley, upsetting Wichita State.
Well, that conference came along so well this year. Creighton's a tough club, have been for many years, but Wichita State was figured to go in there. They may have 3 teams in the NCAA playoffs.
St. Joe's wins in the East Coast. And Louisville, a team that is as hot as any club in the country.
Well, Denny's really got them rolling. There's no question about their ability. And there's that game that I saw last night, 61-60. Dean Smith gets in it again.
North Carolina win. Pittsburgh over Duquesne. It was Kansas winning the Big 8, so they may have 3 representatives in the upcoming tournament. LIU over Iona. Northeastern beat Holy Cross in overtime. And James Madison, a team that has flirted with big wins all season long.
Yeah, they took the University of Virginia down to the wire. And there's that BYU-Utah game.
Ohio State upset Iowa. Indiana won at Michigan State last night, so Bobby Knight's Hoosiers come from behind like a great thoroughbred and win at the wire the Big Ten race.
And Iowa team that looks so strong dropped the last 2 of the regular season.
There's that Arizona State win, and UCLA over Washington, their 20th win of the year. Undoubtedly, they will be in the tournament.
We would expect it that way, Dick. And what's so exciting about NCAA play to me is, regardless of those polls and the standings, now it's all open. You know, you've got a chance to win it on the court.
We're going to have all the pairings for you right after the DePaul Notre Dame game. DePaul leading at the half, 38-35. Then we hope you'll stay tuned for Sports World. We've talked about the boxing and the figure skating, but I hope all of you young aspiring athletes, parents alike, will stay tuned for our Sports Journal segment. Thomas Hollywood Henderson, who is a great linebacking star with the Dallas Cowboys, reveals in an exclusive interview his battle with drugs and how that fight in many ways was a losing cause. He speaks openly about a problem that we all have to consider in this society. Don't miss it. Sports Journal, Thomas Henderson. That will follow later here on NBC. And that'll do it for our college halftime report, college basketball report. We'll be back with the second half of action right after we pause for these words from your local station.
There's a new girl in town, a bad girl.
It was good tonight, wasn't it?
She's after her rich young boss, which raises suspicions
All you ever date are barmaids and waitresses and hookers.
and makes her boyfriend jealous.
I'm gonna break his legs.
She's trouble on a special Flamingo Road, Monday on NBC.
College basketball being brought to you by Chevrolet and your Chevrolet dealers from coast to coast. By Natural Light Beer. Taste is why you'll switch to Natural Light. By Texaco, with over 66,000 employees doing their best at their jobs to keep your trust. And by General Motors, people building transportation to serve people.
Light beer, Mick?
Nah, I switched to Natural Light.
You switched? A Bronx bummer like you switched.
Yeah, Natural Light tastes better to me.
And there's nothing artificial in this less-filling beer. It's made with only natural ingredients.
Let's just say Natural Light's got the taste I swing for. Struck out again.
Hey, don't worry about it, Mick. It's a double-header.
I'll get him this time.
Natural Light. Taste is why you'll switch.
With the rising cost of energy, Americans are fighting to preserve their comfort. You can handle it with Carrier, the #1 name in air conditioning.
I suggest you switch to a unit that will really cut your cooling and heating bills. I'll handle it with Carrier.
Brenda, we've got to stop heating like this.
What you need is the round one heat pump. It cools, heats, and saves money all year round. So don't give up your comfort. Fight back.
Handle it with Carrier, your energy ally.
Chevrolet wants to help get America rolling. So Chevrolet and participating dealers are offering retail customers a $500 cash bonus on Chevy Chevette, $500 on Chevy Citation. We want to help get America rolling. With a $700 cash bonus on Monte Carlo, $700 on Chevy Camaro. Use your cash bonus as part of your down payment or get a check direct from Chevrolet. Get $500 back or get $700 back. Get rolling with Chevrolet.
On NBC Sports World, for 6 weeks, the 80s and the Stars have battled for the World Championship. The competition climaxes in a team skate-off with the greatest names in skating history. Later today.
Same teams that started the game. Notre Dame with Woolrich jumping against Teddy Grubbs. DePaul leads 38-35. We open the second half here at the Horizon.
That's going to be a foul.
They're going to jump it again.
I thought he was going to call one on Woolrich. He came back with the arm. The toss was so high they kind of misleap.
Woolrich playing with 3 fouls. So is McGuire and Cummings for DePaul. And Andre also Notre Dame with 3 fouls. Woolrich way off the mark. McGuire rebounds. 2-on-1 break. What a pass to Dillard. He scores! 9th assist of the game for Bradshaw.
Dick, I thought he had released that pass too early, you know, committed too early. But the ability that Dillard has not only to catch that ball, but to use the left hand really helped. There's the zone. We thought they'd come out in the zone to stay out of foul trouble.
Jackson, it won't drop. Trapuka fights for the rebound, and he's fouled. McGuire's 4th personal foul, and it comes just seconds into this second half.
Mark's going to ask to stay in the game. He's going to ask to stay in the game. He and Ray are going to have a conversation here.
What do you do, Coach?
Take him out.
Got to take him out. There's one of your Cardinals. There's one of your Cardinals. You'll see it right here. Trapuka going to be at the right place at the right time. McGuire knew it as soon as he committed. Look at, he's looking around for the official. Hey, he's staying him in.
Well,
staying in.
What happens a lot of times, and I always say ball players after 3 in the second half. After 4, I let them play. But it's so early in the second half. What Digger Phelps will do now, DePaul will stay in the zone. He'll keep the action in whatever area of the zone that Mark McGuire is playing in. So where you see Mark McGuire defensively, you'll see Kelly Trapuka offensively.
Cummings rebounds for DePaul, and it's 40-36. That's the first miss by Trapuka at the line after 6 in a row.
But knowing McGuire's style, I would expect him going to pick up the foul is to get it on a charging call. Takes away his ability to penetrate some.
Teddy Grubbs line drives it in there. And DePaul has a 6-point lead, 42-36, 8 points for Grubbs.
Now we had that little discussion before this on the show, which is the best front line in college basketball. Grubbs, Cummings, and McGuire, and you picked out the North Carolina threesome of Worthy, Wood, and Perkins. So that's a tough choice to make.
There's the ever-present Bradshaw to knock it away from Jackson.
Notre Dame, don't fool around. Wherever McGuire is, get the ball into that area. Create the foul. You cannot play it.
Hey, one. Paxson, the trigger man to Trapuka.
See, just standing.
Andre goaltending on Cummings, and it's 42-38. Credit Andre with a goal.
And did you see McGuire on that play? He was just standing there defensively, didn't even raise his hands.
Making no movement at all.
If you're curious, DePaul has been assigned a Mid-East berth and will play the winner of Creighton and St. Joseph's. DePaul will play the winner of Creighton St. Joseph's. We'll give you Notre Dame's matchup in a moment. DePaul has been seeded number 1. Notre Dame will play the winner, and they're in the East, of the Georgetown James Madison opening round game. Foul on Grubbs for pushing. Notre Dame seated number 2 in the East, and the interesting thing about Notre Dame's position, if they win, UCLA is also in the East, and UCLA wins, they're destined to meet each other, UCLA and Notre Dame, for the 3rd time this year. That's a possibility.
What I would do in this situation, I'd move Dillard on the baseline and move Mark McGuire up front.
Play him out on the point.
In the zone, yeah.
Trapuka, he scores.
Ray almost going to have to make the decision to take him out because their defense is 0.
Trapuka leads the Irish with 16, and Notre Dame is pulled within 2.
I think we missed the last foul, fellas. I think the last foul was on Cummings. That'd be 4. Is that right, Dick? Will you check that, please?
Cummings fouls. He has 3.
All right, I'll draw.
Rebound Diller. Off to Cummings.
That's too hard.
Woolrich rebounds for the Irish, and now they have a chance to tie it up.
Well, he put it up there so hard, he just didn't relax. He got hit right in the Adam's apple, trying to get his breath now. That being Cummings.
Jackson. Rebound nicely by McGuire, and then he threw it away, trying to save it along the baseline. Remember, McGuire, the All-American, playing with 4 fouls.
Dick, here's what I think in the game of basketball, particularly when you don't have a defense, it'd be nice if the rule was changed so that if a man committed his 6th foul, it would be automatically 2 or 3 fouls, you know, an extra foul, but you could keep him in the game. I think that, again, would help spread around the talent in the country.
Tripucka ties it up at 42.
That way a coach could leave a guy in the game. They just penalize him for 1 more foul shot each time.
What's happening here, McGuire stopped playing defensively, but he hasn't been playing offensively either.
Grubbs way outside to rattle it in. 44-42 DePaul. Grubbs has 10.
That's not an accident. I seen Grubbs score 28 points as a freshman against UCLA.
And he likes that baseline angle.
That's his ballpark. That's his blacktop.
Now they've changed their zone again. They have Grubbs playing out on the point. They're playing a 2-3. Now they're playing a 1-2-2.
Jackson is open and scores to tie it at 44. So they took it to McGuire, who had to back off. And as soon as they got in his area, the quick feed by the Irish into Jackson.
Excellent coaching here by Digger.
Grubbs knocked away by Paxson, and he's caught with a foul on the wrist. That's his 3rd.
That was a tickle foul.
Yep, they're calling them awful tight. They really are.
Well, Al, you made the point. As you get into the tournament, you better practice your free throws because you're liable to get faster whistles. I liked your point, too, in Inside Sports, the current edition, where you talk about scouting the actual floor itself to find the soft spots, and that's where you want to pressure the poor dribbler.
Most of your regionals are in courts and municipal stadiums, so they're dropped down on the floor, and there's weak spots inside the court where the sections meet each other, and the ball does not come back off the dribble strong.
Grubbs. Teddy Grubbs, he could be the key to DePaul's tournament.
Well, they're getting by with 5 minutes, still hanging on to the lead, and McGuire really hasn't been in this second half at all, even though he's on the floor.
McGuire back on the far side in the zone for DePaul. Jackson, and can't hit it. Tripucka can, and it's tied at 46. Tripucka with 20 points.
Any rebound on the Notre Dame board here, if they get the ball, it's automatic too, because Cummings can't foul and Mark McGuire can't foul.
And the back line's really soft.
McGuire, he contributes at the other end. It's 48-46. McGuire with 16.
Well, he can only contribute from the perimeter, because I think if he starts driving towards the basket, subconsciously be thinking maybe he'll charge. And they'd be sitting next to the great coach, Ray Meyer.
Now they're in McGuire's area. Tripucka, not there. McGuire to Bradshaw, 2-on-1.
Oh, a little tight.
Oh, what a tip by Cummings.
You know what was unusual for Notre Dame there? They only had 2 guys back. DePaul had 4 down there. Normally Notre Dame gets back very well on transition.
Take your time. I would put Woolridge next to McGuire rather than Andre.
That's right, because he's an offensive threat.
Yeah.
50-46. DePaul leads it. Oh, Dillard with a gamble. Knocked away. Grubbs and Jackson will jump it.
How about this, Billy? How about DePaul holding the ball when they get it?
Oh, yeah.
They got a 4-point lead. If they stay with a 4-point lead the next time down, maybe ice the ball for a couple of minutes.
Shorten the game.
Because the more you eat up the clock, the better shape the ball is in.
There's McGuire triggering the fast break. Bradshaw looking off. Paxson couldn't score, but watch Cummings hammer it home. DePaul by 4. The top 10 of this previous week. But Oregon State lost, LSU lost, Virginia lost, the bottom 4, Kentucky, Iowa, Utah, Tennessee, all tasted defeat. Only 3 of the top 10 survived. And DePaul is in quite a match today. Leading 50-46, they control the tap. Now let's see if they take a little time off that clock.
Mark McGuire with 4 fouls, Cummings with 3.
Dillard. And it's Woolridge with the boards for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame playing a straight zone that time. DePaul just trying to shoot by the perimeter type shot. You live by that sword, you die by the sword. They haven't gotten the ball inside at all because of the foul trouble.
Change, Andre and Woolridge.
Andre over Cummings, and it's McGuire, and who fouled? Andre, his 4th. So Andre, the first Irish player with 4 fouls. We'll see if Joe Klein comes in for Digger Phelps.
Well, between the 2 of them, they've averaged about 24 minutes a game. Andre getting 13, and and Klein getting 10, so that's really not a big factor.
Now, it's not a major decision because it's a pushing ability, just about. Andre give the edge to because it's a southpaw, where Klein's only a break.
McGuire, he wanted that one. He's short. Woolridge with another board. He's played a solid game.
See, they're to get nothing but perimeter shots, so no inside game. And very difficult to play a team as good as Notre Dame and not have an inside game.
When you see the baseline again, watch where Mark McGuire is. Put Woolridge where Andre is. Woolridge should be there. He's more effective offense.
Nice passing. Trapuka sets up Jackson. Quite a feed. It's 50-48. 9 points for Jackson.
Well, so many times when a guy goes up for a jumper, the defensive people all turn their head anticipating he's going to shoot it. And he dumps it inside.
Cummings can't connect. Bradshaw saves it for Dillard.
Saves it with grace.
You're watching it from the angle at which we do the game, right from courtside, as Dillard misses. McGuire way out of the picture. Bradshaw scores!
I don't think anybody on Notre Dame's club expected him to put that back up. He looked like he was going to wheel and come back outside.
No emotion. He plays so smooth.
8 points now for Clyde Bradshaw. Traveling against Trapuka. Now DePaul with a 4-point lead, and here's that play by Bradshaw.
See, everybody anticipated and just got soft. All of a second, they said, oh, he'll dribble it back out, and he turned right back on him. He's having one of the best days we've seen a guard have all year. Bradshaw. Trying to get loose inside. He's got to be real.
Now they're playing a diamond one now. 1-2-1 with man-to-man on McGuire.
Grubbs. Not there. Trapuka ripping down the rebound.
Well, he got that walk back, didn't he?
Woolridge. Yeah, beautiful lob shot over Cummings. He had to raise it a little higher and softly dropped it home.
Acrobatic.
How about the jump stop, not to draw the charge?
12 minutes left in the game. DePaul 52, Notre Dame 50. McGuire with Jackson. Not there.
Good job by Jackson.
Grubbs with a rebound and a foul on Trapuka. His first.
Kelly plays so hard. He's so intense. The whole game when he's out there, he's giving 110%.
Following a great family tradition, his father Frank, of course, the quarterback of the Irish, who were ranked number 2 back in the late 1940s under Frank Trapuka's leadership. 11:53 remaining in this regulation play. 2-point lead, DePaul.
Back to basketball in a moment in Atlantic City. Marv Albert along with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, and coming up on NBC Sports World, 2 undefeated heavyweights known for their punching power. 24-year-old Ronaldo Snipes, a heavyweight on the rise, 19-0 with 11 KOs, and Floyd Jumbo Cummings, 14-0 with 12 knockouts. Plus a Sports Journal exclusive interview with Hollywood Henderson, candidly talking about his problems with drugs. That's the story here in Atlantic City. Now let's go to Dick Enberg.
Thank you, Marv. Dr. Pacheco, looking forward to that battle of young unbeaten heavyweights. And here at the horizon, DePaul leading Notre Dame 52-50 with just less than 12 minutes remaining.
Dick, I listened to Marv Albert yesterday on that broadcast, that Villanova-Syracuse game. You thought that thing was never going to end. I'll tell you, it was incredible how it bounced back and forth both in regulation and in the overtimes.
Rebel inbounding the ball, and finally to Cummings.
Great man.
Villanova, despite that defeat, made it into the tournament, by the way. We'll have all the pairings for you after the conclusion of the game. McGuire gives DePaul a 4-point lead again. He has 18.
Andre should have just worked on the body, trying to get the charge, not try to block the shot.
Get the ball into the area where Mark McGuire's playing inside the zone.
Even put Kelly Trapuka down there. Anybody. He's got the quickness.
There he is. There he is, McGuire.
McGuire didn't even guard him.
Trapuka tips in his own missed shot, and it's 54-52.
He'll score each time because he's not going to guard you.
22 for Trapuka, the game's top scorer.
Last time they met each other, Kelly got 26, Mark McGuire got 26. Notre Dame won 76-74.
Bradshaw loops one in, and it's 56-52. Bradshaw with 10.
He's putting people to sleep out there. Some of those moves.
Now Jackson with McGuire. Jackson, Trabuco wide open. 3 seconds. Now the turnover gives it to DePaul. That's Joe Meyer, Ray's son, sitting to the left. I know a lot of folks have been confused. Ken Cerubi is the other assistant to Ray Meyer. Joe Meyer, who will take over the reins here at DePaul when Papa Ray retires, but that won't be this year nor next year. Ray says he'll be back.
I think Joe Meyer will be receiving Social Security before he gets to
Bradshaw! Bradshaw scores again.
He's just going right inside the zone. Digger Phelps wants a timeout, and he's hot.
And look at this crowd celebrating. They're on their feet.
Right down the middle of the zone.
This DePaul crowd, they want to be number one. If they win today, they'll get it.
Goodyear took the radial tire and made it right for American drivers by making it all season. Built for sun, rain, snow. Radials that are good all year from Goodyear. Goodyear has more experience making all-season radials than anyone else in the world. So why buy a conventional radial when you can step all the way up to Goodyear all-season radials? Goodyear, quality and innovation.
We want to make you smile.
Welcome back. I see you brought a friend. My boss hasn't smiled the whole trip. I'm back. I think you'll like our beds.
Make you smile.
Big room. Everything all right? Just fine. Call me for dinner. In an hour. We made him smile.
Come to Holiday Inn where your smile says we're number one in people pleasing.
Second-rated DePaul, 58. Sixth-ranked Notre Dame, 52. Stay tuned for all the pairings. I know it's kind of unfair to tease you a little bit on what we have so far, but if we get too much involved, then we'll totally confuse you. We'll have all the pairings graphically represented, and each of our commentators will give you his insight. Right now, we'd like to remind you that NBC is so proud to bring you the big championships, whether it be Wimbledon or the Super Bowl or the World Series. And coming up, the extravaganza, the NCAA College Basketball Tournament. Next weekend, you'll see 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. Then in 2 weeks, the regional finals, 2 more on Saturday, a doubleheader on Sunday. And then the finals, the final weekend in March, Saturday, the semifinals, and then Monday night, the NCAA 1981 championship will be performed at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. And NBC will have it all for you.
That's better. They got Kelly Trabuco down low now. That's what they want. Keep him in Mark McGuire's area. That's all she wrote. Every time he gets the ball, it should be 2.
Exactly 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. Paxson over Cummings, and Cummings rebounds, and the foul is on Trabuco. His second.
But Cummings is so strong in there. He cleaned house. He had Andre on him, he had Trabuco on him, and still got the ball. Here you see Mark McGuire lets him go right by. Now watch Cummings. Goes up for the block. Now watch him bounce the second time. Comes right back up off the floor in between Andre and Trabuco. Fine rebound.
And Mark McGuire staying out of traffic.
Yeah, he's 15 feet away from the action.
Leading by 6, DePaul with the ball. Bradshaw
being played by Varner now.
McGuire open. DePaul leads 60 to 52.
Need a basket right here, Notre Dame.
Digger Phelps made an emotional substitution, getting Woolridge out of the game because he turned his back on his zone. He's coming right back in because Varner can't handle McGuire.
Trabuco, tough luck. It wouldn't drop. Here comes Bradshaw. Diller, sorry. And Jackson rebounds for Notre Dame, and the Irish are on the run. Paxson. Jackson. Blocked by Grubbs.
Teddy Bear, get up that time.
Varner misses. Jackson again. Look at McGuire. Oh, Jackson missed an easy shot. Out of bounds to Notre Dame.
You know what's happening, Dick and Billy? When a fella gets the ball near McGuire, they're rushing it too much. Our offensively. When they get it, they just be very patient, move closer to him, give a hate fake, keep faking to you, make him commit, otherwise take the layup.
Yeah,
But they're rushing it too fast.
And they're going away from him, you know, as opposed to taking the ball right at his body, because you know he's not going to commit.
Digger Phelps there taking that yellow sheet of paper out of his vest pocket. That's his game plan.
Might be calling a football play.
Varner, 8:40 left in the game. Notre Dame with the ball, but trailing by 8 points.
Got Trapuka down on him now. If they just get the pass in there.
A lot of traffic.
There he is. Oh, almost stolen by Cummings, and Dillard ties him up.
You know, talking about that, Alan, we realize we might be beating a dead horse a little bit, but if they would start the ball and swing it and then take Trapuka over there so that he's coming to the ball where McGuire is instead of going away from him.
You know what I think should happen now, Billy? I think they should retool it. Forget it. Forget McGuire. You can't get him out of the game. Yeah, just play your regular game.
Here's Grubbs.
You try to get him out. It hasn't worked. Let's go back to our regular game and attack him.
He's gone about almost 12 minutes now without picking up that fifth.
McGuire picked up his 4th foul just seconds into this second half, and now there's 8 minutes left in the game. McGuire! Oh! That's DePaul's biggest lead. 62-52, and they're celebrating at the horizon.
When you make one really clean, the net comes right back up through the rim. Watch this. Boing.
Watch him tippy-toe. Look at him tippy-toeing here. Tippy-toeing through the tulips.
8 minutes left. Notre Dame, they led by 10 in the first half before DePaul ran off 13 in a row.
All they need is a basket. There's a lifetime left.
Paxson is wide open, and he pulled it up short. Out of bounds to Notre Dame. Dillard could have taken the ball, elected not to go after it.
He wasn't quite sure. I thought it might get off his finger. Al, is there anybody else that could play Notre Dame in Chicago and not have the crowd?
No, because Chicago has such a great subway alumni from Notre Dame. But there's 14,000 season ticket holders here from DePaul. This is not a neutral court. This is DePaul's home court. They play every game here. They lost one to Old Dominion, the only game they lost this year. They won 54 out of their last 55 home games.
Stolen by Trapuka, 2-on-2. Look at him go to the hoop.
Big basket, big, big, big.
That's another one of those 4-point potential turnarounds. Cummings putting the ball on the ground, got him in trouble.
Trapuka with 24 to lead all scorers. 7 minutes left. Inside McGuire.
He walked and came back down. Bradshaw with another steal.
Took him right out of Trapuka's hands.
McGuire had actually walked in that play.
Traveling on McGuire on this occasion.
Yep. Maybe a little makeup there.
Mark Baby, a little bit too much French pastry that time.
Ray wants to let him know about it, too.
Ray and I are from the same school.
Watch this one from the end as McGuire, that back man in the zone, and there's another steal and a foul on Trapuka.
Well, he's picked up, he didn't have any in the first half, he's picked up 3 now, hasn't he?
That's his 3rd.
Well, for his size, he's tremendously quick. Ray's going to call a timeout and maybe change his offense. Don't maybe slow it down a little bit now.
Timeout, DePaul. With 6 minutes, 43 seconds left in the game. DePaul with a healthy 8-point lead.
The Maverick. You've got to get him back. And when you've got him, you head for the mountains. Bush. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Bush. Brewed the natural way for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush.
Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
It has produced some of the most memorable moments in sports, the NCAA playoffs. Don't miss a chapter of sports history, climaxing in the primetime extravaganza on Monday, March 30th.
Back at the horizon where second-rated DePaul with Oregon State losing last night. The Blue Demons realized a win over the Irish today would conclude a outstanding year, and they'd be ranked #1. And they have an 8-point lead over tough Notre Dame. The Irish have played 3 top-rated teams in the last year. At the end of last season, the last regular season game, they beat DePaul, then ranked #1, in double overtime. And then this year, they beat Kentucky when they were #1, and then, of course, the game you saw here 2 weeks ago, Virginia, when they were unbeaten and #1.
Let's see what the strategy is.
You know, Digger came out man-to-man because he thought they were going to hold it.
Cummings wide open. Another assist for Bradshaw.
Good blind side pick. Came off the weak side of the court, lost his man.
Well, everybody is so concentrating on what McGuire is doing that McGuire created a great screen there. They're still playing the same zone, 2-1-2.
Trapuka. Jackson with a great rebound.
Oh,
by Cummings.
Oh, he put it back in his face that time. Tracy Jackson really went upstairs for his rebound.
You know, in this particular zone, what's so tough, too, with Grubbs playing up on the point, he's a good shot blocker. He can stay away from a small guard and still get to him.
Notre Dame trailing by 10 with the ball. Less than 6 minutes left.
Now they got Orlando in the right spot.
Missed it. Warner missed it.
Got him in the right spot. There it is.
McGuire steals it.
Oh, waiting with danger.
Now you made a good point. Sometimes you try so much to get a guy out of the game that before you know it, you've wasted 8 minutes, he's still in there, and you're out of your offense.
McGuire setting up Grubbs. And DePaul has his biggest lead, 66-54.
Teddy Grubbs clotheslines that shot each time. That's no elevation.
There he is. Here's the one that he just had where they had Woolridge on his hip. He reached in there, got all ball, and then those great hands that he's got, able to throw it back in bounds.
Well, they're meat hooks, those hands.
Soft and yet so strong.
DePaul with great balance. McGuire 22, Grubbs 14, Bradshaw 12, Cummings 10, and Dillard 8 points. Sluby with the ball into the game for the first time for Notre Dame, freshman from Washington, D.C. The Irish need some instant scoring. Trapuka inside.
That's a reach.
Foul on Grubbs before the shot. Third on Grubbs.
But Trapuka took that thing in there so well. He's now playing up on the point. He can get the shot off against Grubbs on the point.
The Irish have lost only 4 games this year. First game of the year at UCLA 94-81. Then they lost a 1-pointer to the Bruins. Lost to Marquette by 2, and in overtime to San Francisco by 3.
Well, 2 of those losses at UCLA, that could be a matchup in the tournament, as you pointed out. That kind of unusual they'd have to play somebody that early.
Much like UCLA and DePaul matched up last year. Inside Sluby over Cummings to score. He's a good-looking freshman.
And strong, big legs from Washington, D.C.
5 minutes left. DePaul by 10.
I thought they'd occupy a little clock anyway, Al. Doesn't look like that's the case.
Oh, McGuire lucky to get that one back.
There are 5 personal fouls on Notre Dame, so they can give 1 more before the ball goes to the 1-on-1.
DePaul has committed only 3 team fouls. Into Dillard.
Oh, it went!
No basket. No basket.
That shot went in. I think he was just throwing it up in the air for a prayer. But that picks up another foul. Takes it to 6. Next one will be 1-on-1, right?
Now, every time you go to the line, you get 1-on-1. That ball hit nothing but net. No backboard, no rim.
Foul was on Tracy Jackson, his first foul. Cummings around Woolridge.
Get that man, the man out of bounds.
Traveling is the call.
He has a tendency to do that when he puts the ball on the floor because he tries to gather himself. I don't understand, to be quite honest with you, why he's going in there anyway. Now, they need to start thinking about the clock some.
Yeah, Ray had a 10-point lead. He should have what we call milk the clock. He should have got the clock under 4 minutes before they go for the shot.
The ball was kicked by Grubbs.
And let me explain this. The milking the clock is when you take it by the minute each time you get it. Then you go to what you call a delay. A delay, you take a 90% shot. Then you go to a freeze. That means you don't take any more shots. You play against the clock.
See the time, top of your screen, 4:20 left. Notre Dame trailing by 10. Paxson open over McGuire. Oh, what a rebound by Grubbs. And a foul on Trapuka for reaching in his fourth.
Dick, one of the things that a lot of coaches do by putting a man at the top of the key, like they have Grubbs in this 1-2-2 zone, it's a great rebounding position because the big guy can come right down the lane, very difficult to block him out, and he has a perfect view of the rebounding position.
Well, one of the key plays, and I disagree with it, the old Fox, Ray Meyer, kept in his small aircraft carrier, Mark McGuire, after about 4 fouls, 5-10 seconds into the second half. That's why he's around so long. That's why he stood the test of time. He knows what he's doing.
Grubbs unable to hit. Rebound Sluby, and a foul on Cummings. That'll be his fourth. So Cummings has 4. McGuire has 4 for DePaul.
And still no attempt whatsoever to take a little time off the clock.
Trapuka and Andre, 4 each for Notre Dame. 4 minutes, 9 seconds left. The Irish with a quick hoop here.
But what the DePaul should do, they got 2 fouls to give. They should get fouls up court here, as long as they're not 2-shot fouls.
Varner open to take the shot. Now he will. Rebound McGuire.
The DePaul zone was giving up something, and what they wanted to give up, make sure Jackson and Trapuka didn't get that outside shot. That left Varner wide open.
They'll spread it out.
And a timeout called by DePaul.
They have 3 timeouts. DePaul. Notre Dame has 3 timeouts left.
3:43 left to be number 1.
2 angry heavyweights wage war as Ronaldo Mr. Snipes battles Floyd Jumbo Cummings later today.
That bout will be for the bragging rights of Chicago. Both Snipes and Cummings hail from the Windy City. They ducked each other as amateurs. Now Snipes 19-0, beating Cummings, a record of 14 wins, 12 by knockout, no losses. That's NBC Sports World after today's game and NCAA pairings update. DePaul 66.
Talking
Notre
about
Dame
bragging
56.
rights. Talking about bragging rights to Chicago. Notre Dame and DePaul, it can't be a much better situation there.
What do you call this, Al?
The Vatican Championship.
And Marquette often has been right there, the threesome.
Right.
Each team with 3 timeouts left.
Dick, what's so good about this starting lineup right here, too, is as a unit, they're shooting about 80% from the foul line. So when they go in and freeze, you put them on the line. They've got great free throw shooting first team.
Get the ball into Brad. Man, there you go. Johnny.
East Orange, New Jersey, Clyde Bradshaw.
Showtime.
McGuire to Dillard. Westinghouse connection.
Oh, it's a charge.
No, I don't think so.
Oh. Jackson gets the foul for Notre Dame, his second.
That was close.
Not really. Close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Dancing.
Oh, dancing too. That's right.
Dillard's only been on the line 52 times for the year. So that tell you a little bit about the fact that he's not that big a penetrator. Pulls up, takes a jumper.
He's the only starter not in double figures for DePaul, but if he makes these 2 free throws, he'll have 10. He has the DePaul record. He made 45 in a row.
Usually it's money in the bank when he's on the stripe.
Dick, was that last season? Because that was his 46th free throw that he made so far this year.
Yes, it was last year.
Yeah.
67-56 the score. Out of bounds to Notre Dame. This is it, part 2. We hope you enjoyed our NCAA preview show. Starting today's basketball telecast, we'll have the 4 regions, all the pairings for you right after this game. Trapuka. He's had a big game, and you gentlemen pointed it out in the tough ones. Trapuka is always outstanding. 26 points today. Bradshaw.
Oh, it's got to be a walk. Yep. Now you can fall down, but if you start trying to get an advantage getting back up, they'll call a walk every time.
And so it is. Notre Dame on the turnover, trailing by 9.
He must have just tripped over there. You know, he didn't even have any body contact.
Big basket right here, gang.
Duke is hoping if they can get it over there. He wants it to be swung back around.
Jackson will shoot it and hit it. 67-60 the score. 2.5 minutes left.
Paxson doesn't have a man. Now he's got a big man down there in Cummings. See if Cummings he's trying to get the switch. He made the switch.
Ball needs a little bit more movement out there. Starting to stand around.
2 minutes and 13 seconds left. DePaul by 7. Woolridge knocks it away, but doesn't save it. He hit the sidelines with his foot.
The official looked out on the court, and when he did, Digger Phelps was on the playing floor. It almost shocked him.
Digger Phelps was looking over his right shoulder. So that had to be a good call because Digger didn't say anything at all.
Fighting Irish 34, Bill Meyer, who enters the lineup.
Tennessee, Chattanooga 59. Appalachian State 55, a score we didn't get in at halftime. That's for the Southern Conference. Tennessee, Chattanooga beating Appalachian.
Oh, good double team here. 10 seconds. Got it.
Under 2 minutes left. 1:57. DePaul leads by 7. McGuire winding up. Oh!
He wanted that bad.
What happened is Jackson and Woolridge bumped into each other.
Trapuka.
Walked. He walked, but he got fouled. The foul's been already called. Got fouled first.
Teddy Grubbs fouled in his 4th. Mark McGuire. Here he is, his last home game as a collegiate. He's something. He's a man.
You'll see the two guys, they knocked each other down right there at the center of the court. Nobody picked him up. He strolled it on in.
Mark McGuire. I'm going to make it to heaven, light up the sky like a flame. I'm going to live forever. Baby, remember my name. Fame.
From Fame, a great motion picture.
You know, our guys only had about 4 different angles on that shot. What if we could call for the 5th one, Kenny? From the roof.
Ray Meyer. It's amazing. He had some great teams, of course, in the George Mikan era back in the mid-40s. And then there were some very lean seasons for Ray Meyer and DePaul. We had losing years. And here he is, late in his basketball life, a grand man enjoying his finest years and the glory that's come with it. I mean, he is a hero in this town.
Chicago, he's the man. Shoulder town.
69-60, DePaul leading. Notre Dame with the ball. Tracy Jackson. Rebound. Grubbs loses it to Trapuka, and Grubbs, no foul. Woolridge inside. Foul.
That's all for McGuire.
He should get a great ovation as he goes out. Mark McGuire. He lives with his average 24 points for McGuire. Played most of the second half, 4 fouls. Woolridge makes the first shot.
Dick, you know, with all the talk about him leaving after this year, you know, he's looking up that clock. He may be, you know, he knows exactly what he's going to do at this point in his life. He may be saying this is the last time I'll play before the home crowd here.
He's an
really
emotional man. He's an emotional man.
He's full of tears right now, yep.
Look at him standing on the sidelines. Smart play by Grubbs.
Going to have to come out and foul now. I don't think they'll go for the basket unless it's a chippy.
7-point lead. Down to the 1 minute mark. We're in the final minute as McGuire watches as a fan. Wonder what's going through his mind now.
Yeah, look at him cheering for Bradshaw right behind him.
Bradshaw inside is fouled.
I feel it coming together. You ain't seen nothing yet. There he is, Mr. Payne.
All right, now let's talk about the emotion of these two teams. One going to be the loser, obviously, Notre Dame. What do you think, Al? What do you think this does for them going into the playoffs?
It'll hurt him a little bit going into the playoffs, but I think Digger is so set on playoffs. He's tournament hard. He has them ready. His whole season is pointing towards the playoffs. He wanted to play his last game of the year on the road to get ready for the NCAA. So Notre Dame's going to be very, very tough. They're one of the top 10 teams in the country.
Remember Mark McGuire last year, Al? You and I saw him outside Arizona State's arena. He was crying, standing alone. He had lost to UCLA. And here those same emotions, but in victory. As he feels the joy that comes with the victory, and at the same time, the sentiments of perhaps playing his game at home. Here's Bradshaw to Randolph. Yes!
Bradshaw put that ball behind his back again. A great feed. He's been sensational today. Randolph almost slipped. There was the little touch foul. Look at McGuire in the background.
Cheerleading in the background. I remember in Tempe, Arizona last year when they blew that game. The sun was out, about 89 degrees. And it seemed so strange for a ghetto kid, a kid from Chicago, to be sitting on the steps there crying. It seemed so strange.
Here's McGuire watching that play. He sees the steal, and now the feed to Randolph. Great work.
He's 30 pounds lighter now than he was then.
I think the U.S. Olympic experience was so important for him. Don't you think he learned to play as part of a great team? He didn't have to be the star.
I think we're going to see Clyde Bradshaw come out. You talk about an ovation.
And he is our most valuable player, $1,000 to DePaul University in the name of Clyde Bradshaw, our most valuable player today. The executive producer of NBC's college basketball is Don Meyer. Coordinating producer George Finkel. We'll give you the rest of the credits in a moment. Down to 30 seconds. Trapuka, not there. 73-62.
Oh, look at the big guy.
Randolph loses it. Telecast of today's game has been produced by Ken Edmondson, directed by Harry Coyle, technical director Bill Toby, associate director Randy Wands, production manager Jim Crawford, unit manager Jim Peterson, production associate Glenn Adamo. Great job, gentlemen. I think it visually was our best telecast of the year.
Thank you, Dick. Pleasure working with you.
Looking forward to the tournament with 12 seconds left. 73-64. Stay with us. We're going to have the pairings for you. Timeout Notre Dame.
The reason for that, Dick, I think Digger's going to now talk about the NCAA playoff. No, he's going to say, let's go right back out.
What I used to do in a situation like this, Billy, I tell my team, hey, look at this excitement here because we lost. Remember this. Don't let it happen in the NCAA.
Now we have a break in the action here at Chicago's horizon. I guess we're not going to have a break. We're going to go back to the action here with 11 seconds left.
The whole place is singing. The second city.
Foul is on Woolridge to stop the clock with 7 seconds remaining.
Al, how many nicknames do you have for Chicago? You give me Chi-Town, the second city, the shoulder bag city,
Shoulder
Mayor,
City.
Shoulder City. What's that mean?
I'm not going to tell you, Billy, because you don't understand literature.
You know, I don't.
You don't. There's
How do
no
you
way.
spell literature?
I'm not going to.
L-I-T-A-T-U-R-E. Literature.
Oh, this place is rocking. This place is rocking. It's starting to spin.
They're number one.
Hey, this is college basketball.
Hey, enjoy it. You're number one.
Yep. That's where I picture earlier in the year, and inside sports, I put you number one.
That's right. You nailed that one. You'd like DePaul from the start, and now they're 5 games away. They've drawn a bye, as Notre Dame has as well. 5 games for these two teams, 5 more wins, and they are champions.
I like Oregon State too, Dick. They're good.
Randolph with a little frosting to make it a 10-point lead.
Look at Digger congratulating. Nice touch of class by Digger down there. Congratulating Clyde Bradshaw. Nice play.
Paxson for Notre Dame. Not there, and that's it. The ball game is over. DePaul and Mark McGuire beat Notre Dame 74-64. In a way, as important as this game was, it is anticlimactic because it just ends the first season. The real year begins now, Thursday, in the first round of the tournament. And they'll both be there with byes in the opening round. DePaul, rated now, has to be #1 in the nation. Notre Dame, not losing much favor, ranked 6th, loses by 10 today. Now stay tuned for This Is It Part 2, the National Collegiate Basketball pairings. Then it's NBC Sports World, a battle of undefeated heavyweights, Ronaldo Snipes and Floyd Jumbo Cummings, plus the exciting finals of the World Professional Figure Skating Championship. And on Sports Journal, the tragic story of Hollywood Henderson's cocaine habit. All this coming up next on NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television.